Hello and welcome to another update video about Natgas. Markets are apparently extremely boring again. Don't know what's going on. I mean, look at this. I mean, just zoom out and look at this mess. It's been moving sideways since June. There has been a little bit of up and down, but very clear range movement here on the Natgas chart. Extremely boring. I don't know. Yeah, it's just boring. So what we talked about in the last video is still pretty much valid. We had a potential 5-wave move to the upside that we observed. I explained that we cannot trust it really, not easily, because it's not an impulse. You can only count this move off the September lows as a wave, one leading diagonal at best. So not as an impulse. So that means it could also be a correction, because any diagonal which is characterized by overlapping price action can also be interpreted as correction. So you can see that here wave 1 and wave 4, they are overlapping, for example. Yeah. So it's just boring. And it's not very clear, because overlapping price action always, it doesn't give us very clear setups. So what do? We can still track it. So we've got 5 waves up. We've got a 3-wave move down, which I consider an A wave, which made sense because it was a bit too short time-wise for all of wave 2. So that was okay, because we then rallied in what we consider here a high B wave. And the C wave to the downside is a 5-wave move, as it seems. So we've got 5 waves down, which is okay because it looks like a C wave. And what do we get? We basically get a 1-2 setup. So interesting again, similar to what we had here before and here before, we've now pulled back to the ascending trend channel's lower boundary line. What is a little bit concerning is that it hasn't really followed the channel too much recently. I mean, it's still in the channel, but can you see it's not really moving higher anymore? So it shows to me some weakness. I mean, essentially, the price needs to break above this $2.87 level. All of these were rejected there. There was one fake out which reached $3, but basically the main resistance here structurally seems to be at around $2. You could say $2.88 roughly. Yeah, this is the area they need to get through, and then finally we could have our 3rd wave rally unfolding, but. Yeah, it's been difficult. So best I can tell is now obviously that we have moved to the lower boundary line, pulled back to the lower boundary line of the ascending price channel, in which the price has been moving since April. Really boring. We call this an ending diagonal, at least in our current interpretation. This would be an ending diagonal. Lot of overlapping and corrective price action. And obviously a pullback to a trend line, and obviously to Fibonacci support. We've got a combination here that could provide some interesting reward to risk setups, for example, for a trade to the upper boundary line of the trend channel, or at least to $2.88. Yeah, I mean, that's just something what I find might be reasonable. I personally find this market at the moment anyway too choppy to really trade it, because you get all these headwinds. But obviously interesting reward to risk ratio here potentially. Small reversal candle. Market moved up today a little bit. Might turn around indeed in this trend reversal or support area I suggested to you in the last video. Anything below the Tuesday low, however, is likely going to be quite bearish. So if we make a low below today's low, the price will, and that's sort of around $2.54. The price will break obviously out of the price channel to the downside. And if it's a sustained break, then we may see a break down to $2.14, a price that we haven't seen since June, early June. And if we get to $2.14, well, looking at the price structure here, I think it would be very likely that we are then going to break down completely. Essentially, what you might know if you've been watching my videos, we are still watching and waiting for another low anyway. In the region, maybe around $1.50. But ideally, I'd like to see a little bit of a higher wave 4 before we come down in that wave 5. what's always possible is that we go down more directly, because that's the trend, right? That the trend hasn't changed yet from a downtrend into an uptrend. At least it's not, if it has, in my opinion, it's not very evident in the chart. So yeah, I can't really report on anything interesting other than maybe here a bit of a boredom trade. Yeah, it's really a boredom trade. It's not even anything that would be a high quality setup there, but a decent boredom trade if anybody is really bored by these markets. But I wouldn't suggest that to you. That's entirely up to you. That's not a high quality setup. We are not in an impulse to the upside where it would make sense to go long. No, we are moving in a counter trend move, in a correction, and in a very choppy one. So yeah, it's time to be careful. Yeah, that's my update about Natgas. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.